Here we are with Ryan Metzler, and he is representing North Star Games, and we're going to get a look at Evolution, which is currently on Kickstarter for how much longer?
Oh, it's got 3 days left, so Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It'll end at Sunday at midnight, so we're currently sitting at just short of $100,000 on Kickstarter.
Wow,
so,
nice. Yeah, 1,000%, that's pretty good.
Yeah, not too bad. But we're looking to kind of finish it out with stretch goals, and that's why we're here at Origin showing it off.
All right, let's take a look.
So what we have here is a high-quality prototype of Evolution. Using the final artwork from the game, obviously the components are not finalized, but they will look much like what you see here. Now, the game is going to play 2 to 6 players, and it's going to focus around creating and maintaining a population of species. Each player will be using these species boards that you see right here to track their population, their body size, and then to eat food that's going to be stored along the top. So each player will have one of these boards in front of them, and they'll have markers on them to show how much food that they're going to have with their population and what their body size are. Throughout the game, they're going to be trying to evolve these species using cards that are in this deck. We have a deck of 129 cards currently, and this deck has some high-quality artwork painted by Catherine Hamilton on it that is all done in watercolors, and they're all unique pieces of art to this game. Now, with these cards, you're going to be doing everything that you're going to do in the game, and at the start of each round, you're going to get dealt a hand of these cards based on how many species you have on the board. As I said, these cards are everything in the game. They're traits for your species, and they're the currency you're going to use to evolve your species and make them more populous, bigger in body size, and create new species throughout the game. So, the first thing you're going to do is get dealt these cards. After that, everybody is going to have to choose one card in order to discard to the center of the table, which is called the watering hole. This is where all non-carnivore species are going to feed. Each card has a number in the bottom right-hand corner inside of a leaf. Let's see if we can get a good shot of it here without some shine. And that number is going to be the value of that card in terms of food. So, you'll look at your cards, and these cards are going to range from -3 all the way up to 9. The average is 3, and you're going to choose one of these cards to discard every round. So maybe we chose a 3 card and we put it in the center. Every other player will also be choosing a card to contribute to their food, and eventually that will reveal how much food is available for everyone to eat. But right now, they're hidden. After we've done that, each player is going to start playing their turn, and you'll do this in turn order. For 6 players, we have a fast play variant where everybody plays at the same time.
So this plays up to 6 players?
It does. Everywhere from 2 to 6 with some minor variations for 2 to remove some cards from the deck to keep it a little bit faster. And we also suggest that you only play with 2 traits on a species as opposed to 3. More about that later. And up to 6, and basically we suggest that you play with the quick play variant for 6 so that you can kind of speed up the process of people playing. If you go 1 by 1, it takes a little bit longer than if everybody plays their turn at the same time.
Oh, nice.
So, you're going to take your turn by playing these cards, and there are 4 things you can do with these cards. They are typically, 3 of them are kind of the same, at least in how they perform. You're going to discard a card, and that will be how you start 3 of these actions. So if you would like, you may discard a card from your hand, and that will allow you to increase your population if you like. Increasing your population will allow you to eat more food when it comes out. You can eat food equal to your population, and food is points. So getting food is points, and everybody I think can relate to the idea of eating a lot of food being good. I mean, who doesn't love to eat? In addition, population itself is points, so this is kind of doubly good if you can maintain the population. Instead of getting population, or in addition to getting population, you can discard to increase your body size. Now, the reason you would want to increase your body size is because it makes you harder to eat if other species become carnivores. There's a card called a carnivore card, and when you play it out, your species, instead of eating plant food, will try and eat other species on the board. So the bigger you are, the harder you are to eat, because a carnivore must be larger than you are in order to eat you. So, if you're a carnivore,
good rule of thumb there.
Absolutely. And if you're a carnivore, you want to get bigger to eat other things. And if you're not a carnivore, you want to get bigger to prevent from being eaten. So that's why you would want to do that. You may also discard cards to create additional species. And when you do so, they're going to go to the far left or far right of all of your existing species. And this will give you another template to evolve and hopefully eat more food with. All right. So, those are the first 3 options you can take on your turn. The other option is you may use your cards as the traits that are printed on the cards themselves. So for example, we have a hard shell here. And this hard shell has a nice picture of a turtle on it. And then at the bottom it says that a creature with a hard shell is 3 larger in body size whenever it's being attacked by a carnivore. So this is a way to artificially bump up your body size so that it's harder for a carnivore to eat you. It's a little bit faster way than discarding 3 cards to go up 3 in body size.
Right.
So when you're using your cards, you have to decide which ones are best to discard, throw away, which ones are going to be best to use as traits, and of course which ones you want to use for food at the start of the round. or if you want to carry them over from round to round and use them later. Now, each species may only have 3 trait cards, so if you do play them face down as traits, you can't ever have more than 3. This is so you can't create a super species.
Right.
And then after everyone has played their cards, either discarding them for population, body size, using them as traits, or making new species, we'll flip over all of the face down cards, and these will become active traits on the species. So now we have a hard shell, foraging, warning call, whatever you want to call it. And the game will actually have species names that you can create by meshing together a prefix and a suffix to give your species a name.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Now, after we've done this, we're going to move on to feeding. And if we had, let's say, for example, a 4-player game, there would be 4 cards on the watering hole. We would flip these over and count up how much food is available. So in this case, we have 5 plus 4 plus 3 plus 3. That's going to give us 15. All right? And we would take 15 of these food tokens, and they are plant food, and we would put them in the center of this watering hole. So we're just going to grab some and call it 15 for the time being.
Okay.
Once we've done this, each player in turn order is going to start feeding their species. And they're going to do this by taking 1 food from this watering hole at a time. So I would take 1 food, and then my opponents would take a food in order, and until it comes back to me. Now, my species has foraging. This is an ability that says instead of taking 1 food at a time, it can take 2 food. So it would grab 2 if it had at least a population of 2, because it can eat 2 food. If it had a population of 5, it could eat 5 food, but it would still only take 2, because that's what foraging says. And so you'll see here, there's kind of a timing to getting your food. Food may run out because it goes around the table, and eventually there may not be enough food for me to take when it comes back to me.
Right.
And so you're trying to figure out how much you need to contribute, how much you can eat, and how you can get more food than your opponents. Now, carnivores function slightly differently. They don't eat plants. They'll never do it. They can't do it.
Right.
And so they need to attack something else. And as I said, they must be bigger than whatever they're going to attack. So let's say that this guy is a body size 4, and we have another species over here. It's a little hard to see. I'll slide it up. That is body size 1. Since this guy is larger than that guy, he may attack him if he is a carnivore. And so he would attack this guy, reducing his population by 1. So 1 member of that species dies off. If it goes to 0, he's extinct, and there's some rules for handling that. But otherwise, you're going to get meat equal to the body size of whatever you killed off. So he would grab food from this food supply over here, and he would flip it over to its meat size, and now he has eaten some type of turtle leg that he has helped satisfy himself. The idea here is that you're going to feed until either food runs out. As a carnivore, you can't feed anymore, or everyone is full, meaning they have food equal to their population. If there's leftover food, it will carry over until the next round. And then at the end of the round, you're going to take what food you did eat, and you're going to put it inside of a bag to hide the points. And that will basically be the end of the round. And at that point, you're going to go ahead, you're going to, as I said, make sure that you've slid everything down to match the population to how much food they ate, so guys starve off. And you're going to deal out cards for the next round. So you get 3 plus 1 for each species. So if you've got more species, you'll get more cards to be better able to evolve. And that is basically evolution. At the end of the game, you get 1 point for each food that you've eaten from this watering hole or from the supply as a carnivore. 1 point per population you've managed to sustain. So if you actually manage to fill yourself up, you get extra points on top of that. And then 1 point for each trait card that you manage to have out on species as you go along. So each species that has 3 will be worth 3 points. And whoever has the most points from all of that will win the game.
Huh. Now, how long does it basically usually take to play?
I think the game runs between, with experienced players, you're probably looking at a half an hour, and all the way up to maybe an hour with newer players, but it's really a very quick game with a lot of strategic depth in the card interaction and how players play the game. Very simple to learn, but a lot of strategy in how you interact with other players.
Yeah, I mean, it's nice. It seems very compact for a game that has so many things built into it.
Yeah, there are currently several different traits, so you've seen a small smattering, but there's foraging, hardshell, carnivore. We have pack hunting, which is going to make carnivores hunt more efficiently, kind of the opposite of hardshell, or things like horns that will protect species that are being attacked by carnivores and deal damage to them in population form when they attack. So it's kind of a deterrent from attacking it. And a whole host of other traits. There's a whole bunch of cards in here, and all of them have some type of interaction with either feeding, growing your species to protect or make them better at attacking, or other types of various things that you can do to help protect yourself and make yourself a better surviving species and eat a lot of food.
Is there now for? I'll probably not be able to get it up in time for before the Kickstarter.
Of course.
But So what's the time frame for the actual release?
Planned time frame is to have the game at least for Essen pickup. There is an Essen pickup for our game, so you're looking at October for that. With shipping for Kickstarters also sometime within that range, and then into distribution in November. So.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Will people be able to pre-order it?
I think we're going to have a plan for pre-ordering the game. We don't currently have something set up, but that's something we're looking into to have as an option, because obviously we want people to be able to get it as soon as possible.
Exactly. All right, Ryan, well, thanks a lot. I really appreciate you talking to me.
All right, thank you for taking the time to stop by.